Right, because we talked about this. You were a Blood at one
was.
point. And I've interviewed lots of gangsters, the regulars on my show.
Right.
Trey D, Mob James, BG Knockout. These are all people that have shot people. Some of them have killed people.
Right.
They've talked about it on camera.
Right.
In self-defense. But MC8. We talked about the mentality of a drive-by, of doing this type of thing, and like look at Chicago. 15 people were shot in front of a funeral home.
Right.
A funeral home. I've never heard of that before.
I have.
You have?
Oh yeah.
People getting.
I have.
I've heard of someone getting shot at a funeral. Okay, a fight breaks out at a funeral. Tensions are high. I understand. My dad's funeral was not very pleasant for me. There's people there I didn't like. I get it.
But I've known people who
15
murdered
people
somebody.
shot.
I've not known, but I grew up. People would murder somebody and then shoot up his funeral. I mean, it's one of the things I've always, the reasons I try to see the world like, because you grow up here and it's so small, and all that matters is this thing, and then you see how big it is, and look at how devastating that mentality is, just to our community. Look at the things that those men would have gone on to accomplish. What if those men had gotten to be our age now?
Yeah,
where they would be at now. The things they would be saying.
Yeah. Imagine Tupac as a voice in the 2020 election. Imagine Tupac telling Kanye to shut the fuck up.
Right.
And everyone's saying, yeah.
Right.
This is the guy we need to listen to. We need to stop listening to Kanye.
Imagine what
Tupac
Biggie would have done. Imagine what Nipsey was doing.
Yeah.
And it's there seems to be this thing from here, and this is the city I love and grew up in. Why them all the time?
Yeah.
And it's nothing to be proud of.
No.
And it's devastating to our future. Because how influential those men were, but how many people grew with them and how much more influential they would have been. You talk about John Lewis and how impactful he was in his way, obviously. And how many decades.
He lived to 80.
Yeah.
He was 80
and how
years
many
old.
decades he influenced people. He's one of the first black people to lie in state. They carried his body over a bridge that he was beaten on. Look at what he was at a 22-year-old man and the things he accomplished at 80. Imagine men like that who got to do that, who got to have that continuum experience that they can impart to people. And to be snuffed out by a mentality that has to have something in it. It's got to be something in the soil and the water because it's specifically here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I mean, look at you. I ain't trying to be funny. It's Kennedy. It's funny. Like, look at all this shit that has happened. Like here, like Kennedy's. All the people that could have been impactful have been killed by people. It's sad to me.